Well, hello everyone. Thank you for watching today. We got a powerful program. We're still revealing the secrets that God has shown us concerning what's going on in this nation. He said He reveals the secrets to His servants, the prophets, and we are relating that information to you. What you hear on this program, you will never hear on any other program, whether it's secular or Christian, and because our ministry is unique. God has called us to pray for this nation. He's called us to merge prayer and patriotism, and our Intercessors Prayer Network is second to none in this country. Today I'm going to reveal to you why a centralized government is unconstitutional, and federal agencies are placing this nation in grave danger. Why have appointed free radicals been empowered by the Congress, to usurp authority over our government, our state legislatures, and all of the people? Why has Congress done that and created a centralized government? We've been talking about this a lot on previous shows. We'll be talking about it on future shows, but today I'm going to zero in on what I've learned and how we have had Republicans and Democrats alike that have squandered millions of dollars. They not only squandered the $3 trillion that we take in tax dollars every year, but they've squandered up to $4 trillion a year of borrowed money. Squandered. No money left for infrastructure. No money left for the bridges and to help our children have quality education, not indoctrination. Anything that our country needs for itself, there's always going back to the till. $4 billion for this, $3 billion for that. Gotta have this. Where did all this money go? I'm going to show you today, and you are going to be just like me. You're going to be determined to cut off the water to those that have used federal agencies, billions and billions of dollars for the hopes of climate change. Never suffers. If you need money, you're not going to get it from climate. You're going to go back and get more from the U.S. Treasury. We have to stop the free radicals agenda, and we have to cut off the money that is being diverted from national security, from the best interests of this nation. It's being held hostage by federal agencies instead of being directed to the states, so the governor and state legislatures and the local governments can do for that state what is in the best interest of that state and of America. Call your friend and say, boy, Faye's on. A lot of you call me and you just laugh because you say, you're so passionate. I just have to help you. I am passionate. I love God. I love America. And I love you. This is Faye. Go call your friends. Tell them Faye is on. I'm Faye Hardin. And this is Faye Hardin Presents. Well, I'm going to share with you a little bit about what is now taking place, and I want to go to the fact sheet of the federal agencies that the majority of our tax dollars have been allocated to by the Congress, circumventing the Congress, circumventing congressional committees, circumventing the governors and the states. And I've touched on this a little bit on former programs, but I'm doing it today because the Republican leadership, even though we had a mass massive victory in the election. The Republican leadership still is standing with Harry Reid and the Democrats and pushing things through before our newly elected leaders get in position that literally is disturbing. One of those things is keeping the federal agencies funded, keeping global warming funded, and give Obama another year of carte blanche spending of our treasury. And we must pray. We must ask God to give us the leaders who are going to serve this nation according to the Constitution of the United States, which is biblically based, and give us leaders that are going to lead our country in the best interest of all America, not the best interest of environmentalists, not in the best interest of their personal gain if they sell out to lobbyists. But leadership is so important. And right now, we do not see the American leadership, the Republican leadership, satisfying us with how they see how the election went down and what it was supposed to do. So with these federal agencies still funded, let me just give you a clue of how the money has been squandered and diverted. And I've made packets for you if you would like to get this information, a summary of our prayer ministry this year. And one of the things, one of the face facts that people are ordering, and I would like for you to order it because it's still generic. It was written, I wrote it October the 13th, 2014, and it's Our Constitution Prohibits a Centralized Government. It has the players on here that have brought us from the United States of America, governed by the governors and state legislatures of each state, to a submitted states to unelected bureaucrats, every one of them free radicals, every one of them see America as a big prize to hand over to the United Nations, foreign control, or Allah, Islamic control. So are we going to sit back and allow this to take place? The reason they have this kind of power and strength is because American people do not know what is really going on. The propaganda, the media, the rhetoric, the hopelessness of the conservatives in this country has really given great authority and power to people who are operating outside our Constitution, the supreme law of the land, and the laws of this country. So I want you to order my packet and our information and learn to read. Learn. Nobody's going to bite you because you know what is happening. Fear has got to go. We are not a communist nation. We are not a nation that was based on atheism. Allah had nothing to do with the foundation of this nation. So we've got to bring back the truth. That's one of the reasons that I'm offering the Founders Bible, one of the most informed, researched books that tells the history of our Christian heritage, chronological placed with the scriptures that America was founded on, the living Word of God, the living God, and decreeing that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, the Savior of the world by our founders. You need to get this Bible, and you need to help me get the truth about our Christian heritage back in the forefront instead of being banned by free radicals who hate God, hate Christians, and see communism as a plus. How sick can you get? With it, for $1,000, and I need people right now to give right now, I need you to go to the phone and call our office or go to our website and help me stay on the station. I do not want to. Satan is the prince and power of the air, and our program is reaching people. But I need for people who can to give and help us not only to stay on the stations we're on, but to accept the opportunities that are there for us, that for 3 months we can lambast this nation through the media with the truth, to shut down, especially Republican leaders who didn't get it with this election. Paul Ryan is head of the budget committee. He has a budget, and before the end of the year, they want to pass his budget that keeps federal agencies funded to bring America's demise. Totally unconstitutional. And unless you know, and the other thing, he wants to balance the budget on the backs of the seniors. Do you know how many illegals are in this nation, in camps all over America? I have the addresses of the refugee camps that most people never heard of, but they're in every state in the United States. They have been dispersed by our Homeland Security Advisor, Secretary, under the direction of the United Nations. These are pages of addresses and millions of dollars that we are spending to subsidize illegals in this nation, thousands, and maybe millions from Middle East countries that nobody knows really who exactly they are. We could have sleeper cells in every state in the United States eating off of the federal government subsidies. Our governors need to go to these states. They need to find who is in their state, and if there's jihadists that have been placed here deliberately, we need to get them before they get us. Please get my report. Also, if you can write that check or go to our website and make that donation for $1,000 or more, please do it today. If you can't, you can say, Faye, I can give what I can give. Please recognize it and ask for our information packet and the information I'm going to be sharing to you with you right now concerning the finances of our government and why we don't have an infrastructure, why they have placed global warming, a hoax that has made Bill and Hillary Clinton, Al Gore, and many of our elected representatives and their friends very, very rich. It has been a lucrative business, this global warming that they're spewing. And our electric is going to double if we do not stop the shenanigans. And the only way we're going to stop them is to defund these federal agencies, which is where they go to launder all of their money and with no repercussions and absolutely no oversight. We've been told that over $50 billion this year that was allocated to 18 different agencies for the purpose of global warming. Nobody knows what exactly it is that it is. There is no record. There's no reports of what it went to do and what it accomplished. They're making off like bandits, and we are their victims. We, the people who work, pay taxes, and try to survive in this regulated federal agency Gestapo actions that are being done in this nation, and they're not being reported. The first thing I want to do, and you can get a copy of this fact sheet. When I go into seminars and I have meetings with our intercessors, I prove everything I say. And I also make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of copies of what I'm going to be presenting to our teams to keep them informed, to get new people on track, and to understand the answer to the problems that we're facing. And I leave them, I pass them out so that all of our attendees can go home and communicate what they've heard flawlessly. And believe me, they are doing it. So these are the agencies, federal agencies, that the funds through the Congress have been appropriated. And there it is. The budgets of these agencies are pathetic. I have gone on the websites to look at how they're spending billions of dollars and what is being accomplished by this. And I feel like I've gone into a maze. I mean, these are supposed to be the brightest in America. It's like their budgets look like something that would come out of a high school class trying to determine how America's going to spend $3 trillion. They are a joke, nothing specific. And most of the money is never accounted for or even asked for. And this is in lieu of our funding the states directly with the funds that should be allocated to them based on their population, state population. But Bill Clinton began to turn the tide, and Bruce Babbitt, and they began to act like they had authority they did not have. And just like Obama, Bill Clinton used executive order, executive order, executive order. He confiscated land, he confiscated national parks, he's confiscated gold mines, and placed them in a conservative, they call it, to conserve America. No, they confiscated it because they knew it was wealthy, and they shut down gold mines, silver mines, oil wells, and they wildernesses. They put all of this under the jurisdiction of the United Nations. Did you know there's highways in New Mexico that are not under the constitutional authority of our law enforcement? The signs are up there. You are in a zone that belongs to the United Nations. If you're caught speeding, if you stop, you will give answers to the United Nations. This has been done because it's not the power they think they have, it's the power they make us think they have, but not the power they have. We've got to go back, a lot of education. And so today, let me show you why we don't have an infrastructure, why $750 billion was taken from the seniors, and why they're going to do it again unless we really get down to grass facts, look at what we don't want to see, and begin to take action against the bandits that are operating through federal agencies in this land. Let's just look. What we've got is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Her budget is $700 billion. She has 65,000 employees, 11 divisions, 8 agencies, and 3 other agencies that this woman. Now, Kathleen Sebelius is one of the orchestrators of these kind of billions of dollars instead of the governors. If you would divide $700 billion between the 50 states, we would have an enormous influx of states coming out of poverty. Why are we giving one woman, and now her name is Sylvia Burwell, $700 billion with no oversight? This is Obamacare. You just need to look at their website. You'll be embarrassed. Our governors are supposed to have this money. And then we've got the Secretary of Energy, $23 billion, 100,000 employees. We've got Secretary of Education, $60 billion. $60 billion to decide. And look at our education. What if that $60 billion was sent directly to the states, all 50 states? That's another $10 billion or more that we could put into education, that we would have children that could read and write, and Common Core would bite the dust. And then I've got the list of these states. We have 30,000 employees in the State Department, $55 billion. We have the Secretary of Defense, $525.4 billion, and he can't figure out how he's going to meet his budget. The Secretary of Interior, $16 billion, 70,000 employees. What would that do if those funds were sent directly to the governors and the states? This is what we've got to do. This is why leadership in Washington really makes a difference. And a budget, Paul Ryan, I'm going to share with you what he's done when I get back.
Visit Faye's website, insightUSA.tv, for information that keeps Christians enlightened and informed. Enter your email address and receive Faye's e-action alerts. Like Faye on Facebook at Facebook/FayeUSA and Twitter #FayeUSA. This broadcast streams online at insightUSA.tv.
One of my partners emailed me Paul Ryan's proposed budget cuts. I couldn't believe what I was reading. And this is the man that's setting up our budget for another year before our new people get into office to operate in the best interest of America. Corporation for Public Broadcasting Subsidy, $445 million annual savings. Save America's Treasury Program, $25 million annual savings. International Fund for Ireland, $17 million annual savings. Legal Services Corporation, $420 million in annual savings. National Endowment for the Arts, $165.7 million annual savings. Now these, he's calling, they've taken back this much to save. This is what we've been funding. This is why there's no money for infrastructure. This is why there's no money to spend in the best interest of America and creating jobs that our people can go to work and buy their own food. 46 million people in this country cannot afford to buy their own food. A disgrace. And then I have brought to you today for this program, this is Dr. Colburn's Waste Book. Now, you can print this off free on the website, but I printed it off. And if you don't have the ability to print it off and you'd like to have this to use, you can get it from our office for the cost of just copying it. You will not believe the waste. Professional golfers get a hole-in-one with government giveaways, $10 million. I mean, I just look at it and I wonder, how can they do this to their country? You need to know the truth. Well, this is the time for the ingathering, and I'm believing for you to have a marvelous harvest. I've asked 20 of my television viewers to send a check to help us with this ministry for $1,000. Have a special gift package for you, but we want to take this message to the nation. Will you today say, Faye, I believe in what you're doing. I believe we can win this war against Christianity in this nation, and also we will not choose Allah's flag to hang over our White House. We need to get our message out. Today, will you sit down and write a check for $1,000 or more and say, Faye, I want you to stay in the fight. I want the truth to go forth, and I'm not going to look at you anymore, but I'm going to walk with you. I believe that there's someone who could give $100,000. Will you do it today? In gathering, that's what it's about. Well, I just want to remind you, if you need prayer, you can call our number on the screen, press 1. and our prayer teams will pray with you or for you. And please take advantage of that. I know our country is hurting. People are suffering. That's why the truth will set us free. Paul Ryan's budget cuts are in these pages. They are a national disgrace, and you need to see who the budgeteer is in our country and bragging about the work he's doing and the trash that has been subsidized with our tax dollars. Also, the waste book. So people, if you just make a donation that covers the cost of these, or you become a monthly partner, I want to give you the truth. The main thing is to know where all of the 34 million illegals in this country that are going to get handouts, visa for workers permits, and ID cards. Here's where they are. You need to get these. Take them to your governor. You go and see what is taking place. And if there are sleeper cells here, and if our leaders, especially the Director of Homeland Security and the Secretary of State, have aided and abetted enemies of America, and they're housing them in America, in every state, we need to find them. The governors need to go and act. I'll see you next week. Well, we're in the midst of high holy days, whether it's for the Gentile calendar or the Hebrew calendar, and I have a special gift I want my viewers to get. It's the Jerusalem 2015 wall calendar with all of the dates of the Jewish holidays. I'm also putting a list of the Jewish holidays with it, and a book that you will never put down, The Wisdom in the Hebrew Months. I cannot put it down. The months, the constellations, the letters, the tribes, and the message. For those who will become partners with me, please call 407-265-0700 and say, Faye, I'm going to pledge $500 or more. If you just want the calendar, $100 or more, but partner with me. Help me get this message out. You need to know the signs and the seasons.
Faye wants to hear from you. Her desire to see America come out of exile is raising up one of the most powerful, informed, anointed, and united prayer networks in America for America. She is organizing Christians for the U.S. Constitution to give uncompromising believers back their voice and witness. If this program has blessed you and you believe in what Faye is doing, contact her, pray with and for her, partner with her. She would love for you to host an Insight rally in your church or city. Organize an Intercessors with Insight prayer team or join one. For a complimentary pocket-sized Constitution or Faye's fax, call or email Faye 407-265-0700 or faye.usainsight@gmail.com. Write Insight USA, P.O. Box 917689, Longwood, Florida 32791.